Hello, my name is Dr. Darrell Hestel, and I'd like to share with you a story that is similar to what I've seen happen many times in my 30 years in clinical practice. Kurt had just came home from work and the doorbell rang. As Kurt bent over to straighten the rug in front of the door, he was hit in the low back with a baseball bat. Well, that's how he described the sudden pain he felt. The pain was excruciating and he could not stand up. He went to the floor trying to find a position to relieve the pain. Now Kurt was a former athlete and in pretty good shape. He had not felt any back pain previously or had no recent strains that may have weakened his back. In my 30 years of clinical experience, I found that most of these types of acute low back problems have a similar underlying cause. Their second brain was abused. Now, what is the second brain? There are more nerves in your second brain than the upper brain. The second brain controls the harmony and function of all of your internal organs so that they work together and balanced. And then nearly all of your digestion is controlled by this automatic nervous system. What happens is that we abuse that. In Kirk's case, he was rushing to work in the morning for the last few weeks, had not been getting his regular breakfast, sometimes gulping coffee down on the way to work. He was eating on the run during the day, not sitting down, not enjoying his meals, and then he was eating the largest meal of the day in the evening, trying to catch up, so to speak. The tension, stress at work was high. Economy, job, business not so well, workers, some were being laid off, a lot of tension at work. That day on the way home, traffic is usually bad, but it was exceptionally bad, and he almost had an accident. So he was really stressed out. He'd also not been exercising regularly. His food choices had been off cue. A number of things were going on to really abuse that second brain, that nervous system that requires constant nourishment. You see, the second brain isn't everything, but everything depends on the second brain. There's an energy balance in the system. There are 3 basic levels as taught through the ancient Chinese acupuncture, and we found this to be very true today. There's the skin and nerves, the connective tissue, and then the internal organs. Now the internal organs have priority. So when you stress the gut through this type of lifestyle, any type of stress, it drains the low back support muscles to provide energy for the extra demands of the internal organs. What happens then is that you lose function of those muscles. They don't fire just right. So when Kirk bent over, the muscles didn't give him the support and they didn't move in the proper manner. And that led to his back problem. In this case, it wasn't a ruptured disc, but it could have been. And we've seen many of those. But pow, when he bent over, it hit him like a bat in the back. That's what can happen when you strain yourself. You get your energies out of balance. Now, could Kurt have avoided this problem? Well, of course he could. If he had made a few simple changes, if he'd have been aware of the stresses that were and the danger of these stresses, especially over time, he could have made some changes. There's also the acupressure points of the second brain energy formula, and these really give yourself a boost. I've saved lives, I've saved corporate meetings. By doing these, it can rally people around very quickly. Now, you have to ask yourself, are you at risk? Have you ever had acute low back problems, or are you sure that you never want an acute low back problem like this? See, are you abusing your second brain? You need to look. Take and evaluate what's going on. Now, we know nearly everyone wants to be more attractive, not only physically, but emotionally, just nice to be around. When the second brain is stressed and abused, this is much more difficult, and it takes its toll, even on your physical appearance. You want to be stronger, healthier, you want to be more energetic. The toxic drain on this from poor digestion and poor functioning is tremendous on the fatigue aspect. Low back pain, this is a real common problem. And then other things, allergies, headaches, and nearly every disease of aging is going to be affected by this. What you can do, go to this website, secondbraindoctor.com/pt.htm, copy and paste that, get that address correct. Check this out. You can take your own pinch test to evaluate what's the condition of your second brain. Take this pinch test. It's simple, it's easy, it's very effective. My 30 years, it allowed me to have a waiting list practice. You need to know this. This is critical for your long-term and your health and well-being. Do it now. It's the right thing to do. Go to this web address, take that pinch test. For your total wellness, this is Dr. Darrell Hestelin.